Hee-hoo peanut.
Hee-hoo peanut.
Who claps with their fingers?
That is an odd way to... Wait, do people actually do that? Is that how you do a golf clap?
Yeah, dude.
You clap with just your fingers?
I think it's fingers on one hand and palm on the other, like
Yeah. See, give a little.
I think if you clap with your
take.
fingers really, really fast, it counts as a snap.
I think
Hot
we should all
take.
sample our golf claps into the mic. It's great
Yeah.
audio.
I mean,
Snapping your fingers is clapping your fingers. They're the same action.
I don't think that's a hot
Doubt.
take. I think that's just accepted.
That's a lukewarm take.
All right, where the fuck were we?
Speaking of lukewarm takes, it's Survival, Dungeons & Dragons Real Play Podcast. You guys are in a walking elf city. Elias was a dick.
I thought we were doing the exit montage where we're going au revoir off to the foggy place.
Yeah,
With spiders.
going off to the silent woods and all that noise. Basically,
Is Patton the one driving?
no,
God, I hope not.
it's not driving a city. It's an entire city is walking.
I thought we were getting into the car and skedaddling.
Hell no.
Oh. I was
One,
wrong.
it's half fucked. Two, you're inside the middle of a. It would be explained to you, and I believe it was, that, they can't exactly find you where you currently are, but the second you, leave, you pop back onto the radar.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they'll be
You're
like,
currently being, shielded and all that noise.
Oh, so the city is moving to
Yeah.
the foggy place of spiders. We were just along. Okay.
It ain't foggy. It's eerily fucking not foggy. It's just made of spiders
yeah, there's spider web everywhere.
everywhere.
It's like an Australian winter.
No, it's just regular
Yeah.
Australia.
Can I Skype call DB?
No.
Okay. I want to screen share this.
No! What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that?
Let me just give away our position in the most conspicuous way possible.
Not only that, but to scare the fuck out of a good boy.
Yeah, why DB specifically?
Michael wants to know your location.
Why
Allow.
would you do that?
I don't know.
Fair.
it's what his character would do.
I'm not actually going to do that.
Right.
Why contain it? It's cool.
All right. So when we last left, Patton was actually, that guy came up to you, was talking to you, wanted to shoot the breeze, asking for some advice on some of his little technological doodads.
Roll dice to shoot breeze.
Yeah, can you give me just roll a d4 for me?
Yeah, breeze shoot check.
A D4.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
You failed the breeze shoot check. You bring up an incredibly awkward story about something you did in middle school. Take 2 embarrassment damage.
You should really not be saying these sorts of things in the game because someone listening is going to be like, oh, Dan says that's a good way to do embarrassment damage in our game.
I'm not winning D&D anymore.
I thought Patton had some resistance to embarrassment damage.
I think he's immune.
Yeah, I'm actually, it says it on my character sheet. It says Patton's a fucking moron. It doesn't bother him.
But no, yes, we've had to deal with some things where people go, "Oh yeah, that was a good idea," and we're just sitting there horrified. We're like, we were as sarcastic as humanly possible.
I don't remember any of these scenarios.
All right, so what was Patton talking about to these people?
Yeah, you were.
Or this people?
Yeah, there was breeze being shot. Also, if you will recall, John got those gloves,
Oh, yeah.
right? So
Yes.
if you so desired, you could choose to rid yourself of the affliction of seeing things that you probably shouldn't be seeing.
I'm going to interject real quick to tell you I was actually literally shooting the breeze with a Dr. Patton's patent pending Gustbuster. All right, you guys can continue.
Of course you were.
How the fuck does he do it?
I thought shooting the breeze was just like doing finger guns in conversation.
Shut up.
just ignore Jerry.
So,
I like how much no one laughed at that. As soon as I figure out I can do that, I'm probably going to immediately do that.
Alrighty. So,
I hate this.
alright, so you grab the gloves, and you look up, and you can kind of see like one of those tendrils attached to you, now that you got them, right?
Ew.
And all you gotta do is just yank it with the
Alright,
gloves.
And it was just Jerry that could see it too?
Yes.
And Specky. Specky bats at the ghost tendrils.
Yeah, but Specky's fine with it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna rid Jerry myself of this stuff.
Alright. Does Jiron want to be rid of it?
So like as a quick recap, this stuff is just like keeping an eye on me at this point. It's not necessarily like
Okay.
it feels bad. It doesn't feel good. But
It's that, and it's somewhat of a two-way street. You're not
One of
ever
those-
necessarily going to go back to being completely off the radar, but at least you're not going to be, a glaring beacon towards things that shouldn't be able to see you.
Hey, you want to keep seeing the void? That's your call, Jerry.
Yeah.
I think it's terrifying.
well,
though.
I feel like as a journalist, John, it's my responsibility to gather as much information while this stuff hasn't yet presented itself as
Hey, it's your funeral, and I'm gonna take a swig from my flask.
Okay.
Well, hey man, I'm essentially insubstantial with space time, so I got a lot going on
I'm
over
not
here.
listening to any of this.
The void's just like another layer.
You're just gonna rip that mess right out? Doesn't really feel like much, except, so have you ever gone to bed while, like, I don't know, say, like, really sick, and then you wake up and you're totally fine? Like that sharp transition between, like, running a fever and not?
Yeah, like when a fever
Sure.
breaks.
Yeah, that's basically what it feels like. That looming sense of dread and that, like, constant sense that you can't, like, sit still, that's just gone instantaneously.
Well, all right.
Everything is reverted back to not terrifying.
Life's good again. Hallelujah.
Yes. And Jiron is going to, so as John does that like dread feel that you have is going to get worse, actually. Not by much, but noticeably.
Okay. So what I want to do with this is I want to like stabilize it and kind of like establish sort of a route. Because this is all like some sort of no,
But
no,
go
a
for it.
route in the way of like stabilizing the tunnel of what it's trying to do. Because it's trying to send me stuff, and I'm sending stuff back to it.
Okay, I should probably communicate this better. But that is not it is not a tunnel or a directional thing in terms of like 3D space.
Mhm.
It's, do you know how quantum entanglement works?
Okay, Dan.
In order
Remember-
to talk about this, we're going to need, in order to explain this, we're going to need to
First,
talk
we're
about
going to need
parallel
to talk about
universes.
parallel universes.
I just want a Scuttlebug Jamboree. Please don't bring quantum entanglement into this.
John
but it's
Long jumps up
actually-
the stairs.
It's
Yeehaw, yeehaw.
Jiron.
Okay, John, brick
like-
smasher.
So essentially, I'm on a different layer of existence than whatever this is. So
No.
it's not like no.
Okay, so Michael, you're gonna have to help me out on this one because I have a horrible headache.
I know what you're going for.
Yes, you know what I'm going for.
Of course you do.
So, because we're the same person, basically.
You're the same person.
Basically, nothing is directly influencing you. You're not on another plane of existence. It's not anything like that. It's more that by the sheer virtue of you being able to comprehend the things that you can now see, they are being influenced by that. The mere observation of this is causing physical effects.
You know how, like, in some games there's RNG, and the RNG is manipulated by button inputs?
Yes.
Mhm.
It's that.
Okay. So I really shouldn't interact with it then. I should just kind of see what happens and like
The more you try to directly interact with this thing, the more that
it's going to interact with you in turn. There's no way to change even your observation of it without causing more effects that you have no idea what they would even be.
Yeah, so like the idea of like any proactive action that you take in regard to this thing can never decrease the amount of interaction that you have with it.
It's only like looking at a floater in your eye. Like you look over and it's
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like more of in terms of like stuff I would maybe want to talk to Zep about because he's a demon. This isn't demons. This is void abyssal shit.
It's nothing shit.
Nothing shit.
Yeah, if you're thinking, oh, this is something that Zep might know about. No. It's not abyssal. It's not demonic. It's not astral. It's not anything that you would have terminology for.
Okay.
Because it's not magical.
Knowledge, I would be like non-existence, essentially.
Yeah. Okay, as far as things that Jiron would know, you might try to rationalize it in terms of things that you already understand, but, like, you know, it's not going to respond to, like, magicking at it.
Okay.
Or at least not in a way that actually is consistent.
And were the, like, figures or visions of the past influenced by this at all?
No.
Back at the dam? No? Okay.
Like, you don't get any retroactive knowledge as a result.
So where is Jiron right now?
Where is Jiron right now? Patton is presumably, unless Patton wants to be doing something else, hanging out with this guy who is very, very interested in his stuff. He's kind of roping Patton around, you know? He's just kind of following you. Like,
okay.
This is, like, for Patton, this is, you know, Patton's like the one guy who does the same sort of stuff as him, so he's just like, you know, like that kid, you know, like elementary school that really wants to be your friend.
So he's like showing me all of his busted experiments. I'm like, okay, good. Let's try this. And then I take out a hammer. Yeah. Let me show you my electric powered hammer.
I'm going to saunter over to this conversation.
So Jerry's sauntering over. So anyway, then you plug it in there and it actually hits 4 times as hard. Don't actually touch the metal part of the hammer though, or you will die.
I have one question about that. How is this supposed to be medicine?
Anyway, so you can also turn it around and use the other side.
Hey, Pat, I think this guy is looking for more of your potions, less of your instruments.
Oh God, no, not potions. Please, anything but that.
What are you like necessarily looking for?
Well, things like that crossbow that he has, the modifications that you made to your car, those are very nice.
Yeah, the car mods are actually extremely hard to come by, but
I think you just pointed out the 2 things that Patton didn't do.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I haven't introduced myself. My name is Leofric Graham.
Leofric Graham. All right, I'll note that down in player memory.
He has his hand out for like a handshake.
I'll shake his hand. And my name is Jiron Thalatak, but you can call me Jerry. I am the host of The Rock's most popular TV show.
Oh, that's fantastic.
A radio show.
It's
and
both.
Radio show. However you want to get it, however you may be listening.
Well, I'll take
live.
you up on that offer, Jerry.
Wow. Jerry's like visibly taken aback because this is the first time in months anyone has ever like responded positively to this line. Leofric Graham, you are a man of culture, and I might be able to help you out with some information on those car mods. Do you have anything that you built yourself?
Oh, well, absolutely. I actually noticed a little thing with you that you might be interested in. He's going to pull out a small box. And inside he's got this little, like, you ever seen one of those head massagers?
Oh, hell yes.
Those weird things? With all the little prongs?
Like the alien kind of deals?
Yeah, he's going to pull that out. It's very small. Like, all the prongs only look like it reaches, like... It looks almost like a whisk if you cut off the the end.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to press a little button. It's going to all grasp together and then start spinning a bit.
I'm gonna call Zep out of the shadows.
Put it on Zep.
Hey, little buddy, I got something for you.
Oh, no. Well, actually, I think I should probably say something first. It's like I was saying to the doctor here. I understand that you were with Elias and you talked to Oscar.
Yeah, he's kind of a prick.
Wow.
I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but please cut him some slack. You know, actually, he's often talked about your friend, Elias.
I'm not sure why. Elias doesn't really seem to be interested in all these traditions as bright and colorful and as
well. That's the
eye-grabbing
thing.
As they are.
Neither is he, and neither am I, for that matter. Look, things are tough. Everybody's stuck around here, and well, things aren't exactly normal, or reassuring, or safe. And I can kind of feel it as we're getting closer to the White Forest. People are worried about dying. And not just in the normal way, in more of a permanent oblivion sort of way. Nature doesn't really work here quite normally. And people are having a hard time adjusting to that. And, well, from what Oscar's told me, Elias was always sort of a source of inspiration for him on how to deal with that. You know,
Is that why he was so begrudging to him? And
he was trying to keep the peace. He
Oh.
has to act like the strong leader, or else people are going to panic. And that's why he put up with it.
Huh.
You know, when Elias shows up and he just utterly usurps him, borderline emasculates, and he just takes it.
Big dick on campus, get fucked, nerd.
He did kind of do that, and I suppose I'll apologize on his behalf. It's just, our encounters, we came from New York. It's been a very arduous road, and
Yes.
not everyone's been super friendly, so apologies for calling Oscar a prick.
And I also understand that you're friends with Alonza, and
She's not the biggest fan of this group right now.
people were panicking. Please don't hold it against him. He's a fantastic leader. He's really what the people need.
I mean, if you believe that, you've been here longer than I have, and it's not my mom I abandoned, so I'm not really going to hold it against him. He was just kind of really mean. Anyway.
I mean, everyone's stuck in this bizarre husk of a world. You know, watching the things that are very likely going to replace them growing all around them. They're sticking to these weird traditions because they're the only thing that's familiar.
I suppose that's understandable, but I don't feel... You know, this is the second place I've come across where they feel like the end is coming. But I don't feel like that's the case.
Is it not?
I have reasons to believe otherwise, but until we get this congregation business resolved, it's not something I can really explain to you, although you might have a lot of interest in it. If you're into medicine, you'll have interest in it. What does this thing do?
Jerry picks up the hammer and gets shocked.
The whole reason I bring this up is because it kind of it relates to what I'm saying here. Hold still for a second. And he's going to reach at that brooch that you've got.
Uh-huh.
He's going to push the thing directly on top of the brooch, press the button. He's going to grab it and just, like, spark. Whir, spark, turn, and then just, like, rocket off and embed itself into the tree behind you. The little whisk. And you get knocked back a little bit as well, and when you look down, you notice that the very plain design has actually sort of crumbled away. and beneath it is this incredibly elegant,
This is Jerry's
like,
thing?
ruby emblazoned draconic symbol.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I want
This
plus-
is a Lucky Charm +2. Level 9. And I'll explain what it is. It's enhancement +2 to fortitude, reflex, and will, just like the plain Amulet of Protection. Power daily, no action. Trigger. You miss with an attack or fail a skill check, ability check, or
Wow.
saving throw.
6?
Effect, roll a d6 and add the result to the attack roll, skill check, ability check, or saving throw.
Holy shit.
It gives
All right.
it gives you the memory of 1,000 lifetimes thing, basically.
And let me just compare that to the Amulet Protection. Fort Reflex Will. Oh, wow. Nice. All right, I added it.
Yeah, it's just a strict upgrade. The reason that this relates to what I'm saying about Oscar is sometimes people care about you more than their pride or circumstances will let them, or will let them show.
Jerry's a little bit put off by, like, how nice this guy is. I'm just going to do a quick insight
Yeah.
to see, like, because I haven't. This guy literally just met me and is giving me all positive responses, which is not
Also,
normal.
yeah, let me describe this guy real quick. He's got sort of ruddy brown hair, sort of, you can see like it's burnt in places. He's got some freckles along his face and some also burn marks and stuff. Fairly short for an elf and also fairly stocky. Like he's fairly muscular, but doesn't look particularly athletic either. And he's wearing, a like a forge apron and some nice workman's gloves.
All right. So 17 on insight.
17 on insight. He just seems nice.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate this, Leifric.
Oh, no worries. Look, it's just that we absolutely need you. And Oscar needs you. We all need you.
For what exactly? What is it that we came here that you all think we can do? Like, I'm sorry to say it.
He's going to
but,
kind of tilt his head.
like, just getting the crystals?
At this point, I'm going to kind of walk up to the conversation. I've had just a bit too much to drink in celebration.
Yeah.
Put my arm around
Oh,
Jerry. We're saving the world, Jerry. Haven't you heard?
Oh, yeah.
That's... Yes.
I thought you were more talking about, like, the eventual, like, mana death or all that, us preventing
Oh, no,
that.
that's just a crippling existential fear. We're talking about a bit more of an immediate one. You have to deal with this fear to be able to deal with the existential ones later. One step at a
Understandable.
time.
Understandable. And yeah, we don't need to tell you about the mind walk. Never mind.
But anyway, thank you.
What were they called? Mind walkers?
Mind
forgot.
flayers. But
Mind flayers.
honestly, I think that Oscar and your, big dragon friend Red are kind of the same in several ways. Very proud, guardians of a large group of people, can't ever appear to have weaknesses, and willing to sacrifice their own self-image for the greater good.
I can see that. Main difference being, I don't think Oscar is going to become a problem later.
He's going to kind of blink his eyes at you rapidly, and just like, in sort of a mental checkbox of, well, there's another existential fear. Just add one to the pile.
John, when you've got your sensibilities about you, well, actually, you might be more willing to do this now. There's a maneuver I want to show you. Something I found back when I was a little kid, and it's a really good wrestling maneuver.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
I'm a big fan
All
of
right.
wrestling.
That was from Leo Frank.
Yeah.
All right, so
Excuse me. Please get out of my shop if you're going to do that.
Oh, absolutely. We'll just go outside here.
Please. I would prefer that didn't happen here.
It was nice meeting you, little buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
I'm not going to take that as a slight. It was nice meeting you as well.
I mean, John is huge, so...
He's also short for an elf and has a little bit of a complex about that.
I mean, how would John know that?
He doesn't, which is why he said that he wasn't going to take it as a slight.
He quote-unquote doesn't.
Find us after we're done with the White Forest. Might have something that can interest you. Anyway, John. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw out like a little copy of Jerry. Just like an after image.
Mm-hmm.
And, alright, John, so what you want to do here is when you got the opponent stunned, like say you kick him in the gut or something, what you're going to do here is you're going to put your right arm up around their throat and grasp it really tight, like an inverted choke. And then you're going to put your other arm in a lock, and then you're going to kick your legs forward like a drop kick and bring their head down.
Why is
So John is very drunk right now.
So I'm going to perform this on the copy of Jerry. And for the listeners at home, this is the RKO I'm teaching John.
I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
I don't follow.
Continue.
I'm okay with it, but I don't follow.
So, essentially, John could hit this move on any enemy that he's about to just like take out of the fight, and it will look really cool.
You're just attempting to teach John the RKO.
Yes.
It actually kind of makes sense in character. You know?
Yes.
I'm going to give that like a 5 out of 10 justification. Actually, I'll say a 3, but I'm still going to allow it. So, anyway, so back to the workshop with Patton specifically. Leofric is going to turn to you and pull out a small case, like with some vials. These are some of the samples of the venom that we've gotten from these spiders. I have no use for them, considering I don't do alchemy of any kind.
Where is Elias right now?
Where is Elias right now?
Well, we were walking out of the city, right? So
no, the city was walking.
So yeah, but we had to leave the chamber and then
and then you're in the middle of a gigantic city.
All right, so I would have been like looking around at the bark and all how everything's still moving around, but at the mention of spider venom,
you can jump into the. You can jump.
That's gonna be a who. He who spider venom.
We actually lost our alchemist a couple of months back.
I have a feeling it was during the venom sampling.
That is in fact how we got the venom.
Oof.
So they've been pushing it onto me, but I keep telling them artifice and alchemy are different, and they just keep saying, they're close enough.
They start with the same letter.
That's about the justification. I see you understand.
As a man of science, I understand. As a bird man of science, sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
How many vials are there?
Yeah.
There are going to be 6.
Okay,
this isn't actually like a thing. It's just a little, let's just completely ruin the illusion. Just say it's a MacGuffin that you guys can pull out whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Just make a little note that you've got some to just use for whatever. I just figured, it'd be a good idea. Whatever.
I want to take one of those. I'm going to kind of look the vials up and he's giving them to us, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to take one of the vials, and take out another smaller vial that I have.
It's like a Matroyska
I'm going to pop the cork, and then I'm going to pour a tiny bit of the venom into the vial, and then I'm going to prick my finger to get a drop of blood, and I'm going to drop it into the smaller vial.
Okay, see, Patton's mind thought you were going to dump the vial on the cut.
It coagulates.
No.
It coagulates, solidifies, and then catches on fire.
Right.
I'm going to swirl the little vial around a little bit, and then
it's starting to get a big fire. Like, it's coming out of the top. It is heating up rapidly.
All right, I'm going to hand it to Specky.
Specky is going to grab it with one of the tendrils and then start, like, batting it back and forth between its hands. Ah, hot. Ooh, ow, hot.
All right, I'm going to take like the bottom of my coat to wrap my hand in it and then grab the vial again because I want to see how long this burns for.
Okay, so while you're doing that, you're going to see Leofric has been scampering around to go get a thing, and he is going to pull out a small apparatus that looks like a pair of tongs, right? Like with a little bucket thing attached to it, and is going to just shout, "You put that in here now!"
What is it? A bucket?
Yeah, a little attached to some like long tongs.
Well, if you could hand me the tongs, I kind of want to see the.
Put it in the bucket. Just don't care. Put it in.
All right. Well, there are 6 more vials, so I'll just put my smaller vial in the bucket.
Okay, so he's going to press a button on it, which snaps the lid, and then press another button, and you're going to hear a small explosion. Just a.
Well, that seems a bit excessive.
No, it's not.
It did seem like that fire was going out.
You're gonna hear
It wasn't.
What was that noise?
I'm sure you're familiar with... Penn, I'm sure you're familiar with thermite.
Naturally.
Yeah, it's that, and it doesn't go out.
Oh, it's a runaway exothermic reaction.
Yes.
I knew that.
Or is it endothermic? Patton, is it endothermic or exothermic? I can't remember.
Exo.
It's exo because it's like a skeleton. It's like a bug. You know, like an exoskeleton.
I'm not sure there's a connection there, but I will take your word for it. Is it actually? I can't remember if thermite is endo or exothermic.
Endothermic is cold.
Please, before you do this sort of thing, could you at least ask?
Well, you were giving us the vials, and I did want to test the reaction of the most likely outcome of our interactions with these spiders beforehand, so...
Why is it that Jerry's the nicest person so far?
I'm not being mean!
I was nice.
You're setting up thermite in his shop!
Well, I didn't know it was gonna be thermite.
Yeah. So, he's going to rub his forehead. You're reckless.
Thank you.
With not just your own life, but with those around you as well.
Now you see what I've been dealing with this whole time, right? Yeesh.
Shut the fuck up.
Bunch of loose cannons.
Both.
You did that with no control, with no safety.
Honestly, Elias.
You were holding the vial.
Well, generally, those sorts of venoms don't produce that energetic of a
Generally
reaction.
doesn't apply on the rock anymore.
Yes, well, I've learned something now, so it's not, that big of a deal.
It would have been if I wasn't here.
So what exactly did you what exactly did you do to put it out there in there?
Completely suffocate it and also destroy the tissue.
Ooh.
It doesn't... You have to destroy the mana in the blood itself. It feeds off not only the physical energy found in the blood and stored in the venom, but also on the mana.
So it's burning away everything.
It burns you inside and out, spiritually and physically.
I don't like that.
We've had a couple of them die from soul burn, as they call it, at which point they become walking husks. It's like dry drowning.
We'll attempt to avoid that, but if you have any other notes on the biological properties of this venom, that would be very helpful.
I have the notes that our alchemist left, though you're probably not going to like them.
I'll take a look at the notes.
They don't exactly follow your methodology.
They're not written in acrostic poem, are they?
Some of it is.
It's unfortunate.
Yes, it is. That's one of the few things that I'll agree with you on.
Sensing some hostility here.
Yes.
I think it's about time we left this workshop here. Thank you very much for your help, Leaf. Right?
Leofric.
Leofric.
Call me Leo.
Leo. Here, I've got something that I wanted to give you for being so helpful to us. Just being generally, great person that you are. And
thank you.
Patton's gonna go ahead and dig around in the bag. He's gonna pull out this little handy dandy device. It's got a little speaker in it. It's got 2 buttons. This is I like to call this Dr. Patton's patent pending product producer. Just to give you a little bit of a kickstart in your own ideas. So watch when you press this button here, and you just press it here. Bandage. Now watch this other one. Broken. That one didn't really work. But you play around with that and make your own combinations. You know, get yourself started.
Oh, it's like a fun little randomizer.
Yeah, it's the basis for all of my scientific experiments.
And this works for you?
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Elias and Specky are gonna do that kind of like both look over at him, you know, like turn head. Oh, that explains so much.
But yeah, I've gotten my use out of this, and I think you can get. I think you've got a lot of potential, a lot of patent potential. I'll point out.
I appreciate that, Patton.
Now we're gonna get out of your shop before we accidentally burn it down.
Wait, did you just say you booped his nose?
No, I did like a finger boom, like pew pew.
Oh.
With my bird talons.
I was gonna say, like, damn, don't do that.
Please, stay safe out there.
We'll try. No guarantee. We may get eaten by spiders.
He's going to happily wave goodbye at Patton and just kind of give Elias a glare.
That's whatever. I don't fucking need these people.
Such a dick.
I'm not a dick. They were a dick to me first. They left Alonso to die. I didn't do anything wrong ever.
It seems to me like you're judging them as a collective and not as individuals.
This is Elias. They are a collective. They're like a bunch of fucking elves. Okay?
This is like that one Chappelle skit.
I don't want to be racist, but elvish people.
Slide whistle.
Technically, Elias, so you're Uncle Ruckus.
No. God damn it, shut up.
It's starting to get kind of late, and you guys see somebody sort of doing that like Pirates of the Caribbean rope swing down from the top mast, like from the top of one of the trees, right? They're gonna swing down on a little vine into right in front of Oscar's main headquarters place and do a little flip as they dismount.
I'm gonna try and find a way up the tree so I can swing on vines too.
I'm assuming that John is still drunk.
A little bit.
All right.
But he's only celebrating, so it's okay.
Hell yeah.
He doesn't have a problem.
Right.
He can quit whenever he wants.
He's going to open the door for that, and you're going to hear some like muffled yelling. Then Oscar, that guy, and his guards are all going to run out. Going to find as many of you guys as are available.
Right?
Who all is actually there.
I think all of us.
Well, I assume we were just walking together, so yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Walking through the city like that one scene from the animated Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Oscar is going to motion to the scout, who is going to then, sort of almost out of breath, we have a problem.
Oh, of course.
Our earlier reports of the White Forest size are inaccurate.
It's much smaller.
And they're only from a couple of days ago. No, it's much larger. We can't take you much further.
Oof.
We need to retreat.
Would us getting there still keep us covered and like hidden on the radar thing?
Is that in character?
That's out of yeah. I guess that's in character. If we would still stay hidden, yeah. Because I don't want us to pop up like blip on the radar and then be like, oh, that's where they are.
You should. Things disappear in there.
Whew. I don't like this.
I'm sorry.
I still don't want to go in these spider caves, but we have to.
We can provide you with scouts, a guide. Oscar is going to hold his arm out. Elias?
That shouldn't be necessary.
Our resources are at your disposal. What would you like?
Well, to be quite frank, I don't think any of you should risk going into these spider-infested woods. It seems quite unnecessary from my perspective. So I appreciate the help. We have dealt with large arachnids before, though not of this type. However, while I appreciate your offer, I think it would be best for everyone involved if we kept the risks primarily on our side.
The scout is going to look down and like clench his fist a bit and just nod.
Hey, you. Do you have a layout of the way to get there?
No, we don't.
Did you gather anything on your scouting mission that we could use?
I think the nature of the forest changes rather too rapidly for any reports to be extremely reliable
overnight.
At this point. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
It changes overnight in ways that shouldn't be possible.
Yes, well, we'll have to take a look ourselves. If I understand correctly, you're short on scouts already, so I think it's probably best if you could maintain a watch, but we won't ask you to enter the forest yourself.
We have a couple of rules that should help.
Pat's gonna take out a notepad.
If you're going to sleep, you need to do it in the most open area you can find.
That makes sense.
Don't go into... If you find a tree that is open, don't go into it. If you see anything moving, it's an enemy. And if you hear anything speaking to you, don't listen.
We'll be sure to keep these rules in mind. You wouldn't happen to have any samples of the webbing itself, would you?
We can't cut it.
Does it degrade over time when it's away from the other webs?
It disappears. We think they
Does it leave any sort of residue, or...?
Some. We haven't been able to collect much.
I think that should be sufficient. How does it react to the poison?
You mean the spider venom itself?
Yes.
It doesn't do anything.
How about fire?
Nothing.
How about cold?
It doesn't burn. It doesn't freeze.
Is it essentially immune to all the elements, would you say?
We don't know.
Well, I might be able to do something with that.
When it's bundled up around the trees, it can't be cut, but in small strains it can. However, collecting it has not worked. Or rather, it hasn't ended well.
Not only because it'll dissolve, but also because of how incredibly, insurmountably dangerous this is.
Well, that and they seem to know where it is.
Patton, I think you might be able to, if we can find a way to collect it, you can make some really strong fiber armor.
Please don't.
I would advise against putting any of it against your body until we can...
Also, if I may, Elias.
Yes.
It's my understanding, sir, that you haven't been here for a very long time. Some of the scouts and some of the children specifically think that the ones among them that stand upright are those husks that you might have heard of being controlled by the spiders.
Well, I can't
If you
exactly...
see anyone you recognize, they aren't themselves. We've heard a couple of reports of that, and all of those who've made those reports and gone to go save their loved ones have not returned.
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
Are you supposed to do that, John?
I wasn't in character.
Oh.
Yeah, would I say something like that?
Very well could have been.
I'm sorry, sir, I can't. They can't go out there by themselves.
Look, we're extremely experienced not only in unknown situations, but also rather dangerous situations. It's far more likely that we'll be fine than we would want your scouts risking their lives, potentially sacrificing their lives in a situation that could be avoided.
Oscar is going to turn his head towards the scout, and as a couple more people are starting to surround and watch, you have nothing to worry about. Dr. Adelhelm here is the greatest biologist and explorer that I know.
Do I know this guy?
It's Oscar saying it.
Oh, okay.
He's the best I've ever had the privilege of knowing.
Thank you.
Could I roll insight on the scout?
Yes.
Because he really wants to go, and it's not because he's worried about us.
No, he doesn't want
You can
to
roll
go.
insight. Go for it.
Okay. I feel like there's a hook here.
The hook is that he has to say he wants to go.
That's a 9, so I'm not going to get shit from it.
Would anyone else like to roll insight?
I mean, I don't need to roll insight here. Elias knows that the elven custom of, like, you know, hospitality and saving face and stuff requires...
Incorrect.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, like...
If that's Elias's assumption, that's fine.
That would be Elias's assumption. So
I'll do an insight here.
What'd you roll?
Well, here, I'll roll now. 10 plus 7 plus something. Hold on a second.
It should be substantially higher than that, right?
19 in total.
19 in total?
What Patton's thinking...
Wait, I thought you had a 12 in perception.
Wait,
it's my
insight.
I have a 10, and then I have
Oh,
my medallion.
insight. Yeah, never mind. I
Should we
again,
roll
I have
perception?
a horrible headache.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
On a 19...
What Patton's wondering is, like, if this dude's issue is that, like, his perspective is like, I'm trapped in these trees. We can't really do anything or go anywhere. This is pretty shitty. Like, I can't do anything about this. And he wants.
It's not a call to adventure sort of thing.
No, not that. But like,
He's also not trying to just escape. He's not even necessarily wanting to go with you. You can tell on that on that insight check, he's terrified.
There's something else, like, maybe he lost
doesn't
somebody.
want to go, but he's very genuinely concerned about you guys. Like, the scouts know what it's like out there, and the idea of sending 4 people who have never been into these woods alone is...
he feels like he's letting us go on a suicide mission.
Right.
Which, I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's definitely wrong. We don't want to risk their lives knowing that we're far more competent at this than they are.
That's true.
That is not the issue.
No, I know that's not the issue for him, but that's
Yes.
what Elias thinks.
Would Patton come to that conclusion, though? As far as, like...
Yeah, on the insight, he does figure out that it's a very genuine, heartfelt desire to not see you guys get put into that sort of danger.
Oh, I was more asking, would Patton, like, agree with Elias' sentiment at that point?
What?
Well, I'm
But-
trying to read the elf. You read him correctly, and
In
you
the
would be
middle
able
of
to...
this, considering that there's, like, only half a second or whatever
Yeah.
for this, Oscar is going to turn to him and the other scouts. Dr. Adelhelm will be just fine. If anything, we're going to have to worry about the spiders going extinct. Don't take too many samples.
Yes, well, I wasn't intending on committing what could potentially turn into genocide. However,
If the opportunity arises for genocide...
Oscar is giving you a look like a play along look.
yeah, I get it. Yes, well, I'll keep the sample taking to a minimum, though I can't guarantee that your rates of expansion notes will be accurate come tomorrow.
And the scouts are going to get like a little bit of a smile on their face and like kind of look at each other like, was that a joke? Was he trying to make a joke? And they're going to start dispersing.
Elias doesn't do, like, on-the-spot jokes, okay?
He doesn't do quips.
Yeah, I don't quip.
That was a good. I don't. Do
This isn't
quips.
This isn't a Marvel movie, okay?
All right. So at some point, I imagine John climbed high enough into a tree to find a vine. He just picked the first one because he really wanted to try it out. He
Give
held
me an
on to it
athletics
about a
check.
second too long and ended up just kind of tumbling to the ground.
Oh, okay, you're just gonna do. You're going to be the one to do that for yourself. So immediately as those guys disperse, John face plants into the ground.
We got this.
You're
Thunk.
heroes.
Howdy.
That was pretty fun. Don't think I could do it again, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chosen one. I'm gonna help John out.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
Here. I'll make an opening for you and we can give you some amount of safe passage. Here, I'll do this. He's going to step out towards the edge of the trees and motion his hands in a little quick, like, clockwise turn hand motion with a little flourish. And the trees are going to split open and form like a little door. He's going to turn to all of you guys and do the same hand motion, and a small little magical circle is going to appear beneath you with some mushrooms.
Do we have a
dotting
way
the points.
to track the crystal that we're looking for, or no?
He's working on this shit for you.
Okay.
This is a method of safe passage. It won't last you all the way, but it should help you get there. And he's going to close his eyes, reach his hand up. A vine is going to reach down and grab his hand. It's going to let go, and then reach down into the circle. And from those mushrooms, these little fungal tendrils are going to reach up and form a cage around you guys. And you're going to start getting some, like, brightly colored spark-like spores dripping down on you.
Mm-hmm.
That Specky is immediately going to start batting at, like a cat with a firefly.
I wanna roll nature and see if Specky can like attune herself with this mushroom cage to like sustain it longer.
All right, go for it.
25.
25. Alrighty. On that 25, this is some like classic elven magic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Specky is specifically and willfully excluded in terms of being able to affect this. He's got this thing on lock. So specifically you can't fuck with it while he's in the middle of doing it.
Well, I thought he was done.
I'm glad he has to
No,
put in
it's
that
still
block
going on.
for Elias and not fuck everything up.
Just like, let me do this.
Just give me one
You
thing.
dig.
I was only doing that under the assumption that he was finished.
Right. So anyway, the whole thing is going to then, like, the fungus is going to start growing between the cracks in those rings, and the cage is going to form into like a little fungus igloo, and then the walls are going to start contracting in on you guys.
So this is how a TV dinner feels. It's funny.
And then as it's about to touch you, it all just pop, like bursts, and you see like a big old bundle of what look to be those like dandelion tufts that circle around you guys for a bit.
What?
And you can see now that directly in front of you, any uneven terrain or anything natural just bends to accommodate you.
Ooh.
Like, if there are any bumps in front of you, they're gone. If there's a small sapling in your way or like one of these roots, it just flattens itself. This is as much as I can give you right now. Please, stay safe.
Thank you, Oscar.
As the door is going to open up, and in front of you guys, you're going to see these colossal trees. Many, many times larger than the trees in the Walking City. And they are just coated in these spider webs. It's daytime out right now, and as you look into the trees, you can see that it eventually just becomes darkness. You can hear some amount of bird song, but only directly behind you, away from the woods. Even like the wind seems to not go in. You know, you've got the trees swaying before the white woods or the white forest, and then The ones that are encased in the web do not move. And Jiron,
Yeah.
as you look in, you can see the image of a small girl, like a little girl, no face, spectral-ish legs, duck out from behind one of the trees, like look at you. You can't hear her, and she doesn't have a face, but you can tell that she giggles a little bit and runs deeper into the woods.
Okay. Can I... So, with my connection here, is that like an always-on kind of thing, or can I
yeah, you can't turn it off.
Well,
yeah, dude.
I want to open it up a bit.
Nope. What?
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
So I can't
It's not
interface with it at all.
It is not a thing that you can interface with. It is simply... It goes back... This is why I wanted to say that it's like quantum entanglement. There are individual states within things that you can interact with, right? Think of it like... That are seemingly random. Think of it like this.
The wacky mode in New Vegas?
Not really. Think of it like you have a light switch in your house. And when you flip the light switch, a can falls over in the house somewhere. The next time you flip the light switch, something different happens. Maybe. But, similarly, if the can were to right itself, the light switch would flip back down. Or, let's say that you have a deck of cards, and when you shuffle them a specific way, your roommate gets sick. And they're acutely aware that you did that somehow.
Oh.
It's like that. Things are linked in a way that you cannot quite understand, and anything that you affect similarly affects you in turn.
Okay. I'm going to stop trying to understand it until later. Because I feel like I'll get more information on this. Because, I get what you're saying, but Jerry's not going to try and learn more about this until later. Because that's just going to come naturally. So
it's the sort of thing that you can't consciously go, oh, I'm going to try and do this thing. It's just shit happens, and whatever you're affecting knows that you're affecting it.
Okay, so did she go any specific direction, or did she just fade off?
Oh no, you can see the trail that she follows. There's a little tendril.
All right, I'm gonna indicate over our telepathic connection, just so it's not audible. I just saw a vision, John. I think it's connected to.
Ignore that, Jerry. Jerry, you need to ignore anything you see in these woods. We cannot test for anything.
Well, I just want to make note of it. I
don't
want to pursue it, but
your perception makes note of it in and of itself. You need to keep this sort of information away from us.
Don't look at it, don't think it.
I think we should tag each other.
So, considering that you guys have not quite left yet, Oscar is going to place his hand on Jiron's shoulder, turn to him, just look at him, look back at John, nod his head. Don't tell them what you see. It won't help.
The Twitch chat in Jerry's head, Lil W.
Wow.
He's going to look over at John with a disappointed look.
I already did.
And then just going to turn back around and start to shoo away the people who are now swarming towards the door, looking over at the woods. You can hear some people screaming that their husband, wife, kid is in there, and that they need to go find them. You can see some strong guys in some armor suiting up, insisting that they're going to go. And Oscar is holding the way and keeping the peace in some way, shape, or form.
Get out of here.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I know that this stuff is this web and stuff is uncuttable basically by anything that we've got, but we've got Mavala Jr. with us, right?
Yes.
Now, I have a theory, but what I want to do is put on a show for these guys, like a show of strength as we're leaving. So what I want to do is I want to basically mind meld with Mavala Jr. To step out of phase, like, with nature, and, like, cut a half moon right in front of us in the web.
All right, give me a nature check.
So this is going to be me, like, putting my hand on Mavala Jr.'s head. Both of our eyes glow, and I want to step out of phase to because I'm thinking that this stuff only exists on this material plane, and it's like tethered to itself. So if you can cut it in one place, it'll all peel off.
I don't know what any of that means.
Would you believe a nat 18?
At
not
18
not
total?
Not total, but on the dice. So that would be...
That's like a 30-something.
Yeah, that's 32.
Okay. On that, you're going to, like... touch...
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not an 18. That's a 16. My dice is really worn in.
Okay, so that's
like
a 30.
Yeah, 30.
Okay. So, on that, you're going to attempt to cut it, right?
Yeah.
With that, and you're going to realize that your assumption of what this stuff is not quite on the mark. It is technically just raw physical, and it's not inherently magical, but...
Oh, does it absorb mana when you try to interact with it?
Yep, kind of. And also, it seems like any individual point is reinforced by the other points upon impact.
Ah, I see. So it's like a non-Newtonian kind of meme.
Yes. In fact, active attempt to cut it makes it stronger.
Yeah, but if I can get like one quick strand through.
Right. You manage to actually dent it, right? But what it's going to do is it's going to like shear in some points and then immediately reforge.
All right, so seeing that it shears...
That alone, though, is enough for people to go like, oh shit.
Yeah, but seeing that it shears and reforges gives me an idea.
Well, it doesn't quite so much physically shear and reform as it does like... It does it more like a liquid.
Where it wiggles and it wobbles.
Like it displaces itself and then moves back in.
Kind of want to like hit it in two places at the exact same time. Like, sort of like collapsing wave kind of meme.
I don't think we got time for any of this.
The other thing that you immediately notice upon looking at this stuff is that vibration that you made in it travels abnormally far.
Yeah, it's going to get amplified.
It gets massively amplified.
All right, so if people saw that and like saw, oh shit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big flurry. Normally I would just take out my notebook and just like write down. So what I'm going to do is going to take like a big flurry, pull out my notes, and like have Specky get real close and start like examining it without actually doing anything, know? But I'm going to make a big show of like, oh, I've figured this out now.
Yes.
And then I'll turn around and like wave as we, walk into the woods.
Yeah, as we're going, I want to turn back to the crowd, and I want to say farewell and may the Lord be with you, and tip my hat.
You get a couple of high-pitched, like, shrieks. There are already John fangirls.
And they don't see the dread that Jerry is experiencing at all.
Oh, no.
Good.
No, not at all.
Everyone's just looking at John and how cool he is.
Because Jerry's just looking forward at the forest with, like, the completely black eyes. Like, oh, fuck.
Well, with that, I say we march to our deaths.
Yeah.
Couldn't have asked for a better end episode cut. You can find the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. There's a Discord and a Patreon in the description. Find us all there. Send us your questions. Do whatever you want. I haven't given out the email. If you have any questions or you just want to email me something inappropriate, you can send them to letmetellyyouabout@gmail.com. That's let me tell you about, but with 3 T's. Because at the time I thought I had to have them. I thought I had to have a minimum character limit. Turns out I'm wrong. But you know what I'm not wrong about? That was Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons Real Play podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.